Okay, 7 o'clock at Building and Board of Health applications. First walk-in is Mr. Alan Katowitz.
This conference will now be recorded.
Oh, great. 7 o'clock, I'm going to do the Building and Board of Health applications. Our first walk-in applicant is Alan Katowitz for Lot 6 on Carver Street.
All right, he's here.
Okay.
So
could Alan explain, just for the record, explain what you're asking for tonight?
I'm up on a building permit, lot 6, Harbor Street, right next to lot 5, in the middle of a.
Al, do you have a septic design for that ready to go?
Yes.
Could we see it, please?
Oh.
It's going to be in the front toward Harbor Street. Well is going to be.
Dave, do you have Alan's septic design on your system?
I'm looking, I don't have that piece of it. I have the site plan, but not.
Oh, you do?
I do not.
Oh, you don't have the site plan?
No. This is not the site plan, it's just a picture of the only thing we have is the plot plan, Bill.
All right, so you don't have any improvements on, see, the whole point is we gotta know what the improvements of the lot are gonna be.
Well, we're not close to any wetlands though, Bill.
Well, no, I realize that, but Alan, do you have a septic plan you could share with us, please?
It's being drawn up now. It's in front of the building, Carver Street, and the well is going to be, and there's no wetland anywhere near.
Well, I realize that, but Dave, just as a administrative aside, the point of these walk-ins are to have people with all their paperwork in place so that we don't have to go hunting around and making assumptions and so on and so forth.
True,
That's
true. And the only thing we have from the applicant is this particular site plan, which is really a plot plan.
Yeah.
So it's just showing the boundaries of the property.
Right, right. So, that's, actually, I'm looking at our walk-in appearances sheet that we'll be discussing a little later. And it clearly says site plan of proposed project in a digital format.
Right. Right.
With enough to read and understand the project scope. And this clearly doesn't meet that.
No.
I wonder if Alan could take a picture of his septic plan and maybe email it to us very, very quickly and within like a minute.
You didn't hear what you said. You've already said it's being drafted. You don't.
Yeah.
I don't. But the echo. Bill, he doesn't have it on him right now. They're drafting it as we speak. He didn't bring it to the meeting. So
Okay.
take a photo. He said that twice already.
Oh, yeah, I can't hear. I can't hear any audio from anyone except yourself, Patty. Thank you. Thanks for speaking up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
anyway, well, just incidentally, I know lot 6, in my opinion, has no wetland on it. However, we do have a policy where we do need to have some information presented to the commission. So I'll leave it up to the commission whether or not you want to approve it without the information, which is kind of in conflict of what we're proposing to insert into our protocol this evening. But notwithstanding that, in my opinion, there's no wetlands on the property. Now, the only other thing we could do is we could tentatively approve it subject to review of said septic plan if it's being prepared tonight.
This is
So the
Dave.
question is, Alan, when do you want to get the bulldozers going on this project? Patty, could you just interpret for Alan? I can't hear his voice. You have a good, strong voice, Patty.
He'd like to start right away. And he wants to get moving on it.
Okay, what's the other commissioners think? Kevin, what do you think about this?
I like your idea of the tentative approval, and we'll look at the plans when we get them in hand and move this thing along.
Okay. All right. So Dave, would you be okay approving this conditionally upon review of the formal site plan?
I could, Bill. My only holdback is this policy, which I'm 100% behind, is still being enacted. So we've not required this information in the past, and we've got this transition period that is difficult for the applicants when they've made similar approaches to the commission, and we've not had this requirement. So I think to allow this project to move forward is really important, and especially considering there's no wetlands around here, there's no risk to any resource area. I understand we want more complete information at this point, but as long as we could approve it conditionally that I guess the septic plan being created would be submitted so we can look at it at the next meeting.
Well, but I think Greg Briggs wants to sign for the commission prior to next month. I think that's the point.
Well, that's why I'm saying I would be in favor of approving it tonight without the
Okay.
information.
Okay, Janice, what's your opinion on this?
I think in this case, since there doesn't appear to be any wetlands in that area, and some of the commissioners have been out there, are familiar with it, that I'd go along with Dave that there isn't any impact to wetlands. There's no buffer zone or anything out there. So it should be able to just go through the commission, since we at least got this plan and we could compare it with the mass mapper and see that it's fields. And like I said, you guys know that site anyway.
Oh, okay, all right, I see what we should be doing then. Okay, listen, I moved in, we approve lot 6 with no further action. However, Alan, just as a courtesy, would you please forward your septic plan to the commission within the next 10 days?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so motion on the table.
Dave
Second.
will- all right.
Okay, any further discussion?
Was that Patty seconding it?
That's second.
Okay.
Okay, any further discussion, folks? Okay, none heard. All in favor of approving lot 6?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, none heard. Okay, very good. Thank you, Alan. Thank you so much.
Are there any other walk-ins in the room in the library tonight?
You want to do Miss Banks, the 142 Chicopee?
Yeah, yes, please. That's the enforcement, Dave,
Oh, okay, okay.
or potential enforcement, I should say.
Yep.
Right.
Okay.
So, Ms. Banks, are you here, please?
Yeah, Bill, she's here.
Oh, okay. Again, I can't hear her voice. Kevin, thank her for attending. Kev, you were out there with us on that site visit, were you not?
Yes, I was.
Okay, would you just convey to her what we saw on site and what our concerns are, please?
So it looks like we couldn't see much from the road. So we responded to a butters notification of some activity going on. We saw up the driveway a skid steer kind of going back and forth, and then we saw some rock maybe being installed on a slope. They were already there.
Yeah, we saw some earthwork activity. I think we saw the material from the skid steer being deposited on the top of the earth slope leading down to the brook.
I do have. This, what happened?
You got that. Okay.
So Kevin, did they describe what activity they were executing on the property?
Yes, so his septic pump failed and he had to repair it, and it was in the woods. He had to do some clearing in the woods in order to do the repair on the septic pump. And so he moved the fill to a different spot and then flattened it out and put some gravel over it.
Oh, okay, so I guess the concern that the commission has is the spot that they removed the fill to was not the right spot. They should have moved it in the other direction, further away from the brook. So the question is whether or not that fill is truly stabilized going into the winter season.
We're still trying to figure out that part, where the fill went.
Okay, Janice, could you opine, please?
Yeah, this right up here.
It sounds like maybe Rita's trying to explain. I don't have too much to add other than that we're just trying to determine if there's an impact to the stream, and it is within the riverfront area, the 200-foot riverfront area of the stream.
Okay, so does it make sense? This is for the commission. Does it make sense for the commission to ask the owner if we can do a site visit at some point in the near future?
They're in favor of us doing a site visit.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful.
And Bill, the homeowners said that the spot that they placed the fill in actually improved the area where previously it was washing out, and anytime they had a rainstorm, they've actually made that spot better by flattening it out, grading it, and putting the gravel.
Okay.
They're not dumping it, just so you know, the photo, that my observation is that they didn't place anything on a surface that wasn't already being used. So they weren't, like, it's on a roadway area, and you can see the prior spot where they put it in, where there's clear signs of erosion, where the water and the grade is. So what they actually did was put back what was actually washing into where they took it out from.
Now
And
here's
in terms of the clearing area, because I'm looking at the photos, what they cleared was the growth that was already there. So you're not dealing with some, a new invading into an area that hasn't already prior been disturbed, and removing and putting it there. They're not placing it. It may be, and it's possible, it may be within that riverfront area zone, but this road is pre-existing to that. So I think it's definitely, we should do a site visit, make sure they have appropriate erosion mechanisms, things like that. If they do a repair, that it's done properly. But it doesn't appear to be, filling or removing in terms of, taking something away that hasn't already been disturbed prior.
Okay, I'm just hoping that material that eroded previously did not end up in the river, but I got a feeling it may have. But I
It
think,
may have, and that's why you should do a site visit, probably.
oh yeah. Janice, would you be kind enough to contact everybody and set up a joint site visit, please?
Yes. Do you want to, generally, I'd just like to know what to expect for people. is it easier to do a weekend, like a Saturday than an afternoon? Or I just want to know where to start to look for what will work for everybody.
Saturday morning is usually pretty good for me.
Bill, just so you know that the homeowners, next week is no good, but generally any time of the day is okay with them.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, I'll have Jan, let's have Jan set that up, but thank Rita and company very much for coming down and working with us on this. Thank you, Kevin, also. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kevin,
Okay, so I move that the commission set up a site visit. Is everyone in favor of that?
Aye.
Second.
Or
Okay,
second.
very good. Okay, we'll duly set up a site visit. Janice, take care of that if you would, please. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, we have an email. Thank you.
Thanks, Rita.
Oh my God.
Thanks, Patty. Okay. Okay, Dave, what's next?
It's now 7:16. The public hearing doesn't start until 7:30. So did we want to do, I don't know, approve some meeting minutes?
Yeah, well,
Yes.
why don't go through our administrative laundry list, starting at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So
Well,
if
one
you could
is-
scroll down on that, Dave, that'd be great.
Commentary is the first one.
Yeah, well, I guess the important commentary is, Patty, welcome back. We haven't seen you in a while. Again, sorry for the situation, but we're so happy to have you back on the commission. We're very, very pleased. Okay, post next meeting, November 15th, 2022 at 7 o'clock. Now, the question is, when is election day?
This is already adjusting it, Bill. This is the election day is the 7th, I believe,
Okay,
November, and so we,
The 8th.
for the 8th, okay.
Yep.
So
okay,
we
that's
can't
fine.
meet on that day.
I guess the other option is to move it a week ahead to the 1st, but is there any good reason not to have it on the 15th?
This is already the third week, Bill. So the 1st is the first, we have a November 1st, which is the first Tuesday. The 8th is the second Tuesday, which is our normal Conservation Commission meeting date. So it's already been moved to the 15th, which is the third week in November.
Oh, okay.
Okay. The fourth week, which is what you're, I think, discussing, is actually Thanksgiving week. So I don't think.
No, I was actually thinking of not having it the 15th, but having it on November 1. But I suspect,
Oh,
we're not strapped for work, so I think the 15th will work out okay.
all right.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, approved minutes on September 13. Did everyone get a chance to look at the minutes?
Hope so.
Dave, did you enact some of Janice's suggested edits?
It's slow.
No.
Yes, he was fine.
Oh, okay, very good. Okay, yeah. Kevin, Ed, did you guys look at the minutes?
Yes, they look
Okay.
good.
Everybody's good. Ed, are you good with the minutes?
Yeah, ditto,
Okay.
ditto here.
Okay, I approve then we approve minutes as drafted by Dave, dated September 13th, 2022.
Second,
Okay, any further discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Nay. Okay, all right, that's in the record. Thank you. Thanks, Dave. Okay, next laundry list item at 7:20.
It's bills to pay for Janice.
What about the August minutes? Don't we have to do them too?
Oh, we do. Thank you.
Yeah.
Let me bring him up, Jan. My feet is a little slow. So these are the August 9th meeting minutes that we weren't able to approve last meeting. So,
Now let's,
any comments?
yeah, let's go to that. Scroll down a little bit, Dave. I want to take a look at one thing carefully. Scroll down if you would, please. Okay, that one's okay. All right, yeah, okay.
Which site were you looking for, Bill?
Yeah, I was looking for that lot 1 Amherst Street.
Oh, Amherst Street. I don't, I think that was September, not August.
Okay, that's fine then. Yeah, I think we actually discussed it on the Board of Health, so I got the two boards mixed up. That's all right.
We did talk about it on September. I don't think it's in the August minutes.
Oh, okay, all right, no
This
worries.
is Amherst Road that we're looking at.
Right, that was Mr. Blanchard. That was a walk-in that took a
That was-
considerable amount of time to
Right.
get ironed out. Okay,
That visit started our walk-in protocol.
right, okay.
So can we approve the, what is this? 8-9, I guess, August 9th meeting?
Yeah, just one quick comment. Is Kathy the one that sends out the final minutes, or I'm just trying to figure out where they are? on my machine?
The final minutes are approved, and when they're approved, I would take off the draft notice.
Right, okay,
And
yeah,
I make any comments that we
Okay.
picked up at the meeting. I then send that copy to Kathy, who then posts it online.
okay, I've got GCC final draft meeting minutes 22-0913.pdf and my machine's, okay, here, oh no, this is the the later one. So you're looking at the ones from the August meeting.
Well, that's what we're talking about.
No, you've got August 9, 2022 minutes in front of you, Dave.
Meeting that hasn't been approved yet, or the
Right.
minutes that haven't been approved
Yeah,
yet.
that's why I want to take a look at this. I'm
Okay.
trying to find it. Okay,
I
here.
think he emailed them to us yesterday.
I did, you know,
Who did? Who emailed it?
Dave.
David.
Oh, Dave, okay, let me find it then. Hold on, please. Okay, meeting minutes draft 0809. Okay, here it is. Boy, it's taken a long time to open. Okay, here we go. Okay, this is it. Yeah. I just want to take a look. All right, so 71 West Street, 81 Pleasant. And then we had Bob Notario and Company. Okay. All right, and then Lot 1 Chicopee, we did that. Lot 1 East, which was Stamborski. Okay, we got that. 49 Aldridge continuation. And then the marijuana farm. And then some Eversource stuff. Okay. All right, I'm good with that. Is everyone else good with the minutes?
Yep.
From the 9th of August. Okay, so I move we approve August 9, 2022 minutes as written. Do I hear a second?
Dave will
Second.
second.
Okay, Dave seconds. All in favor of approving the minutes as written, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, approved. Nay. Okay, thank you. Okay, thanks, folks. All right, it's 25 after. Let's see if we can knock something else off the next 5 minutes.
Do some bills for Jan.
Yes, please.
Jan has her September bill here. October 9th. 31 and a half hours of work for Granby Conservation Commission for a total of $787.50.
Okay, let me see if, yeah,
That should be on the screen for everybody to see. Hopefully everybody
Yeah.
can see.
yeah, I've got it. Yes, I have it. I have it. Okay, is everyone okay with this?
I am.
Okay, so I move we approve Janice's bill for $787.50 for her services.
Dave will approve, or Dave will second rather.
Okay, any further discussion? Okay, all in favor of approving this invoice, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Aye.
approved. Okay, everyone's good. Okay, Dave, the Verizon bill, please.
To the Verizon bill right now.
Okay,
October 9th.
dated October 9th, $35 Verizon payment. Any discussion on this? All in favor of approving the $35 invoice for Verizon for Janice? Any second on that?
Dave will
Second.
second, or I got Kevin.
Okay, Kevin got the second. Any discussion? None heard. All in favor of approving the $35 invoice, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, okay, very good. Okay, that's done. Thank you.
Thank you.
27.
Yep, thanks, Janice. Okay, we got 3 minutes. What else can we knock
3
off?
minutes, we've got financial accounts quarterly, anything at the library that we should consider talking about tonight? Ed or Kevin?
Yeah, I don't see anything here.
So nothing?
Nothing.
Okay. I can put that into the notes. And then outreach, Janice, quickly in 2 minutes, do we have any outreach, education, or plant of the week that you'd like to share?
No, I figured our meetings have been busy enough, so I didn't want to add to it. Maybe I can start that up again if they get to be a little more normal hours.
Sure. Do we have any news or announcements that we want to make tonight? Anybody? That's
None
not
for
okay.
me.
I'll take that as a none.
I think we're good, Dave.
Moving right along, we've got a couple minutes left. Jan, do you think we can talk about gravel pit site visits now in 2 minutes? Jan?
Yeah, sorry, I wasn't unmuted. Yes, I mean, I can't remember, Dave, did we do weekdays or weekends, Saturdays before last year?
I think we did weekdays because the people are working and they didn't want to go out.
Yeah,
Even though I did with Bill, Bill and Amanda, we went out on a couple Saturday mornings.
Yes, we did. And
That
Kevin
was-
was with us too. Yes, Kevin was with us as well.
Yeah,
Yes,
we went to the Naraki site on a Saturday morning.
yes.
okay, so
My only request, Bill, is that we do it this fall and before the snow flies.
I think that would be prudent.
yeah,
So Janice, if you could put that on your to-do list, please, that'd be great.
okay,
Thank
so
you.
I'll work on a Saturday and see what the owners are willing and able to do. If
Perfect.
there's a real problem, I'll let you know. Okay,
Great. Thank you. Now it's 7:29, so I don't know if we want to continue. So let me go to, so we can start at 7.
So our 7:30 appointment.
Yes, I'm opening up the file right now.
Okay,
So-
thank you.
So 7:30, we're doing our appointments and hearings. Our number 1 is an RDA filed by Ben Thornton, See whether work depicted on plans referenced on the screen here are subject to the Wetlands Protection Act with regards to the property located at Amherst Street, Lot 1, known as Map 1-D-2 in the town of Granby. So, Bill, you had a chance to do a site visit this past week, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a caveat on this. I made a site visit last Wednesday morning at 9 a.m., which my understanding was the joint site visit time. I was the only one there, so I walked around the site and I observed where they're gonna put the well. However, subsequent to that, now I understand that they've hired a new engineering firm, namely JP Engineering, Mr. Jackson and Company. And I'm looking at the plan that you show, Dave, and Mr. Campagna is on the plan. And Mr. Campagna and I have had a business relationship for a number of years, and I do recuse myself when Mr. Campagna is involved on the project. So I regret to inform you that I'm going to have to recuse myself at this point in time.
All right.
So I'm going to mute myself.
Okay, well, I guess and I wasn't able to do a site visit, but I'm familiar with the site traveling back and forth in front of this property for a number of years. And I know there's the lake, Aldrich Lake is at the left end of the property here. And I see the note on this plan saying there's no associated bordering vegetated wetland other than the edge of the lake. So marker here is denoting where the wetland buffer is, basically following 100 feet from the shore of Aldrich Lake. And I see the location of the proposed well in close proximity, and they are proposing on this plan that they will install a silt fence and a limit of work line along this heavy line, which is, I think, what we're asking for. The only challenge I have at this point is, what is the silt fence? How is it constructed? And Jan, I don't know if you have anything to add to this, because again, where that well is proposed, the houses, I'm less fearful of the house because I know as you move to where the house is located, it's relatively flat, and they're proposing the septic leach field in a relatively flat area. So I think the actual construction of the houses is safe, but in having this silt fence where it's located, I think is very good. But do we want to describe, or as far as what the silt fence, how it should be constructed, or what type of silt fence are we looking for?
Hi, Dave. Dave, this is Ed. Did the applicant?
Because I know there's many out there. And just saying silt fence doesn't necessarily, what's that? Oh, is the applicant in the room?
Hey, Dave. This is Kevin. The
Is anybody,
applicant
is
is
the
not here.
applicant in? Yeah. Oh, all right. I didn't ask that important question, Kevin, so thank you. It would have been helpful if somebody was here. And there's nobody here digitally either, I think.
No, and so we had no presentation last week or last month, right?
Well, Neil Jackson, I think, was here because his son is building the property for Ben Thornton. And we spoke to Neil, but I'm looking at the list of people. If there's nobody at the library, I'm looking at the list of people in the video chat, and Neil is not here, and nor is there a Ben Thornton. So we are on our own here. So I don't know, Ed, can you offer some guidance here?
Dave, this is Ed. Maybe we should just open the meeting and continue it.
Okay.
If there's nobody here to present.
that there is nobody here, so.
Well, let's back up. We have 20 days to act on this.
Yeah, they filed an RDA, so we have a time commitment, otherwise it automatically gets approved.
Correct. So we have 20 days. So we need to make a decision tonight without a presentation. Or we say it does need an NOI.
Does, Ed, I didn't understand your last statement, Ed. Ed, could you repeat what you just said, please?
Hey, Dave, this is Ed.
Okay. Can you
So
repeat what you
my
just-
understanding is that there's no one here to present. We need
Right.
to open the public hearing, which we just did, it sounds like. No
Yeah.
one's presenting. And Janice, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but we need to make a decision within 20 days of the filing. And I'm not comfortable approving anything without a presenter.
So do we turn it down then?
It's a good question. I don't know.
I mean, what are options? Janice, could you jump in on this? Janice?
Yes, I was just looking up the determination form to see what the options are. I know it's sort of sticky. I thought someone was going to be present to discuss this with us so that we could ask for, more information. One of the concerns that we were discussing when Bill and I were looking at the site from the road was that he felt that the well was closer than 100 feet. He thought it was 60 something feet from the edge of the water. And then sort of with, concerns about the clay that would be brought up during the process of drilling the well. That's very fine material. And if it got into the lake, you'd never be able to control it or get it out. So I think one thing we were wondering about was having a double layer of erosion control, but we also, I'm not good at estimating from a distance, but it did look like it was closer than 100 feet and it's a steep slope.
Well, the challenge I have, Jan, is, and
Yeah.
we've talked about slope. The
Yeah,
100-foot is supposed to be a horizontal dimension.
true.
So if they're measuring up the side of the slope, that's the hypotenuse of the right triangle. And
Mhm.
that is less than 100 feet horizontally.
Yeah,
So we don't know, as Ed points out, we don't have a presenter, and it's dangerous to make some assumptions.
yes, I
Like
know.
what is the
Can we
silt
just-
fence?
Can we just kill it for now? Because we have people who are waiting and and it's important that we honor the time of people who are here and they're not. So let's just make a motion to contact I make a motion to contact them. And if they don't respond at the next meeting, we cancel it out.
We can't do that though, Patty.
Yeah.
I think what we're talking about here is making a decision to a negative, right, Janice? We're just going to turn it down.
That seems to be the choice. I'm trying to read through the form some more to see if there's another option. In the order of conditions, you can deny for lack of sufficient information. I
Well, let's
don't
do that.
really see that on this one.
I think we need to deny it because there's nobody here tonight.
If
Yes.
the time is right, you just have to deny it and then have to reapply or
Right.
appeal or whatever.
Right. So Dave will make a motion to deny this RDA tonight based on lack of information and no presenter.
But
Do I have a sec-
that's not a choice on the determination options.
Well, what are the
Unfortunately.
choices? What are the choices, Jan?
The positive determination for saying that you do not approve the project, that it needs a notice of intent, is that the area described is in an area subject to protection under the act. Now, we could say that in the sense that it's in the 100-foot buffer zone. 2A is the delineations are confirmed as accurate, and that's not true. The boundaries below are not confirmed by this determination. We could say that, but I don't think that's important in this case. The work reference is within an area subject to protection of the act and will remove, fill, dredge, or alter that area. Therefore, said work requires the filing of a notice of intent. That's probably the best one, number 3. Number 4, the work described is within a buffer zone and will alter. So it's number 4. 3 is an area subject. It's not actually in a wetland, it's in the buffer zone. So number 4, that the work's in the buffer zone and will alter an area subject to protection, therefore requires filing of a notice of intent. And the rest has to do with local bylaws and municipal ordinances.
Well,
And riverfront.
let's do number 4.
Okay,
And we can fill in the details. So I'll make a motion to, how do you say that now, Dan? Are you denying it, or you're saying you need to file a notice of intent?
you're going to issue a positive determination, number 4, requiring a notice of intent.
Perfect. Do I hear a second on that, please?
Second.
Okay. Any further discussion? And so do I hear a positive, a vote in approving the positive determination number 4, that this applicant needs to file a notice of intent? I'll say, please everyone say aye in agreement.
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody nay? Anybody against this or denying it? Okay, and no abstentions. So it's a unanimous vote.
Except that Bill abstained or
Oh,
recused
that's true.
himself.
I did. You're right. Bill did. No, he did abstain or recuse himself, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Jan. Thank you,
Okay, so
everybody.
I'll get that done and send it out to
Yep.
everybody, and people can email to Kathy for signatures.
Great. Okay, the second one for tonight is a continuation, continued NOI, Granby Conservation Commission 2207-165-0356, filed by Patricia Leavenworth, PE for Mass DOT, for proposed work on Route 202 project, the intersection improvements at 5 Corners, and the School Street roundabout located in the town of Granby. And I understand there are people at the library tonight that can talk to us about this project.
That's right, Bill.
Okay, I'm back.
Sheets here, I guess. Which one should we open up for tonight?
Yeah, is Bob Notario and Company here, Dave?
I understand they are. We have to wait.
Okay. Yeah, Janice, why don't you take lead on this? You've been doing a little bit of research, and I think Bob submitted his answers to DEP's questions late this afternoon. I haven't given a chance to review them thoroughly, but I did see that he submitted something. So why don't you take the lead on this, Janice?
Okay, I have looked at my emails and I haven't seen that, so I don't know anything about that. That's one of the things we're waiting on, was the response to DEP comments, and then some other information about the replication and the means and methods for the compensatory storage area. So if there is something available, we're going to need time to look at it. And anyway, maybe we should just let Rob talk and he can tell us where he stands on this.
Right. I'm gonna
You're on,
send
Bob.
this to everybody right now.
All right, thank you, everybody. I hope everyone can hear me. And, thanks for having us, and good to, see everybody, quote unquote. So the email server was down So it's.
Yeah, could we only have one microphone on in the room, please? We're getting feedback. And whoever's speaking, if you could speak distinctly and into the microphone, that would be very helpful.
Can you hear us, Bill?
How far are you from your microphone?
Across the street.
Yeah, that's the problem. You gotta put the mic in your face, essentially.
Well, we're using Kevin's computer because you wanted one microphone on.
Okay, your audio is okay. Whoever's presenting, if they could go up to Kevin's computer, that would be fabulous. Thank you.
Look at Ed Champlin's picture.
Yeah, I see that now. That's fine.
Bill, is this?
So
I think I see Bob Notario on the screen.
I think he's talking, but we're not hearing anything.
What's going on? There you go. Can you, go ahead, Bob.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now, as the Verizon guy would say.
Yeah, the email server was down.
Okay, you're good now, Bob. Good evening.
So the email got to you very late today.
Oh yeah. I got it at 6:25, but it's okay. I forwarded it to everybody. Everyone in the commission should have it in front of them right now if they open up their machines.
I'm the new guy.
So Bill, I see this on the screen, the layout.
Now, Janice, would you recommend we go through Bob's answers to the DEP questions first, or a continuation with some of the other issues we had started discussing last month?
I don't see how we can respond to his, I just checked my emails, and I still don't have it.
have it,
So
Jan. It's in your email box.
I just looked in my email box.
Oh,
Dave, did you get it at your house?
I do have it. I've got it on my screen here, Bill. It's on-
Okay, yeah, of course. Jan, Dave and I are only about 80 feet apart, so it goes real quick. Takes to go up to Franklin County takes a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see it. Maybe I wasn't included on the chain.
Okay, well, let me
Anyway.
start reading some. I'll start reading some of these. It's easy enough. Okay, the first question that DEP, these are DEP's completeness documentation. Commission may exercise its discretion to approve under a limited project, which is your 1053-3 section. Applicants should meet the general performance standards to the maximum extent practicable, which gives the DOT quite a bit of wiggle room. Bob, did you take any exceptions to the limited project, or do you believe you're fully compliant with the general performance standards for the project?
I believe we're fully compliant.
Okay, so you took no liberties then. All right, again, this,
No.
if you're under limited project, which I think that there is a laundry list item, which is F and K, you're certainly entitled to do that.
You know, if the commission felt the need for any of the performance standards, but obviously be willing to discuss that.
Okay.
But I don't feel that we need to.
Okay, all right. Laundry list item number 2, documentation methodology for your BVW. Again, as the commission has not done a site visit on this project yet, have they?
We had talked about that earlier, and we had mentioned that it's a pretty hazardous site.
Yeah, so I'm gonna pass on number 2 for now. Number 3, commission should verify that the plans show the delineated boundary of all the resource areas. I believe you have shown that, Bob. I don't think that's a problem. Number 4's applicant has the burden of proving whether or not a specific stormwater management system does not constitute an area subject to protection. And I think the original question was whether or not that brook was a cold water fishery, and apparently your discharge from your stormwater is not going into the cold water fishery. Is that true?
That is correct. It's
Okay.
north of
All right, and
the-
that feathers into number 5, which essentially that's your declaration that it is not a cold water fishery. All right, number 6 is critical areas include cold water fisheries. That it would be wellhead protection areas, stuff like that. Number 7, no discharge to Turkey Hill Brook. That's the 3rd time we've discussed that. Number 8, commission might find it helpful if the plans clearly demarcate the areas of proposed fill associated with the borderline subject to flooding. And I believe you've done so on your comp storage plan set. Is that not true, Bob?
Absolutely. Each incremental foot, we've shown the extent and borderland subject to flooding. We haven't refuted any of that.
Okay.
Square foot.
All right. We had Emily Stockman do our peer review on that project.
Every
Okay.
incremental foot, more than what's required.
Okay. Sure. Number 9 is your invasive plant control. You got some Japanese knotweed, you got some multiflora, so on and so forth.
And
So now do you have
other species as the invasive species control takes place? If they see other species, obviously.
Bob, do you have an in-house invasive plant specialist, or do you subcontract it to an outside firm?
It's subcontracted out because it would be part of the contract, so it would be a bid item for the contractor, and we'll have requirements of the subcontractor.
Oh, I see. Okay, so they haven't engaged an invasive plant person at this time. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
All right, I guess it's a degraded area, so it's going to be under redevelopment, which again, it gives you some wiggle room. And 10A is significant net reduction of impervious surfaces.
We have,
How could you meet that? How could you meet a net reduction in impervious
well,
surface?
we did our best to minimize. We only have, in the inner riverfront, we only have 6 square feet of permanent. We did everything we can. We honed and honed and honed and honed, as much as we could without sacrificing safety or, pedestrian safety or.
Yeah.
Best we could.
So the, again, I don't have the plan in front of me, but in the riverfront area, was the inside circle of the roundabout, and was any of that region in the riverfront area?
No. The riverfront is still a ways outside the roundabout.
Okay, all right.
Tell them, or you want me to look at it, or do you want to show them on the screen?
Yeah. If we had the plan of the roundabout on the screen, it might be helpful, guys. But in 10C, provide stormwater management demonstrably in excess of what is required. 1005.
So Bill, you want to see, this is the line right here. You can point it out.
Okay.
That's the
Okay.
200
Could
foot.
you?
There's
Yeah.
School Street.
Yeah. You gotta have the right sheet, Ed. There it is. Okay. Thank you. There it is right there. We just saw it for a minute. Oh,
Which
right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, that's okay. That's okay.
Bill
So
says it's
could you trace the 200-foot riverfront line just with the cursor, please, on that?
That's it right there, Bill, on the screen. Can you see it?
I'm so used to colorized plans. When I see black and white plans now, it all looks blurry to me.
I've got the plan on the screen in front of you, Bill, so the,
Dave, could you trace the 200-foot riverfront line, please, with the cursor?
well, you can't see my cursor, so that doesn't help.
Yeah, whose cursor is that?
You see this cursor?
Yep.
Yes, I do. I
Oh,
do.
all right, that's my cursor. Then it's over here.
Oh, it's way over there. Okay.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
way over here.
Okay, all right, fair enough. All right, that answers that question. Thank you. Okay, catch basins will be deep sump catch basins. That's fine. Curbing. Now, just a quick aside at this point. Mr. Brunel, the neighbor, Mr. Brunel, have you been in communications with him with regard to his particular concerns, Bob? Again, I don't want to delve into this deeply, but have you been in contact with him?
Only just this evening. I don't think we've been, we received this information by email.
Yeah, could someone repeat Bob's comments? I can't hear him.
We received his email, which we copied you on. But just this evening, we've been in contact with him.
Oh, okay, so you are in discussions with him at this point. Okay, that's fine. Okay, 10D, remove and proper disposal of noxious but otherwise legally located materials. That's your invasives. Okay, number 11, BVW replication. I think that's taken care of. Number 12, sheet 64, BVW rep spec. Have we reviewed that? I don't remember seeing that.
That's the plantings that we
Yeah,
submitted.
sheet 64 is the BVW replication specification.
We submitted the planting plans for the replication area and also the plantings that we're putting in the roundabout.
Yeah, but Bob, you also have cross sections and profiles to show at what elevation you are cutting to with your replication.
Yeah, we show that on a number of plans. Have cross section or elevations of the replication area that we have right here. No, that's
the plan
top
section.
page.
Want me to turn to a particular sheet?
We have that sheet with the cross section that has the cross sections of the roadway.
Was it part of the email system?
It was part of the original email and plans that we dropped off, but we can ensure that it's,
Sure.
you know, we can email it again as we close these out. I mean, it's like we originally submitted
He's going
to
through
the
it now.
cross section of the roadway at that,
Sure.
you know, on the side of Tubman Farm.
He's going through that right now.
Okay, thank you, Ed. All right, let me just finish up here then. Number 11 is LID, low impact development. And I guess Bob's saying high groundwater and the BVW kind of eliminates any possibility of using bioretention basins and other best management practices. And again, the new impervious areas were reduced as much as practicable or possible. Okay. All right. So any other commissioners, any of you guys have any comments on this at this point? Again, we're discussing the Bob and DOT's rebuttal to the DEP questionnaire.
Yeah, this is Ed. I haven't seen the letter yet, but that's neither here nor there, but I'm sure they've answered it and
Okay.
we'll go through that. We're not closing the hearing out tonight anyways, I'm guessing. This
That's
is
right.
not gonna
That's
happen.
right. That's right.
So
That's
we're-
right. Okay.
We're-
Anyway, that was an important laundry list item. Janice, are you satisfied, again, just in general with his answers to these questions? Or are you looking for anything else more specifically at this time?
Well, I can't really tell, sort of just looking at the screen and listening, but I'm glad that they answered the questions. And so
Okay, good.
it
good.
sounds like it, I'm still wondering a little bit about the replication. I have sheet 66 and maybe, I don't know if it's 7 maybe, that has wetland replication stuff on it, but it's not the plants. And it's not the grading, so I'm not sure which sheet is the right one for that.
Okay. I'm just wondering, Bob, does it not make sense at this point to schedule a joint site visit with the commission and your people?
If you need one, we'll do it. I mean,
Yeah, I think we've looked at enough paper. I think we want to look at stuff on the ground at this point. Janice, would you be kind enough to set that up? And again, anyone else in the commission with any questions or comments for Bob, that would be great. And again, Bob, if you want to opine on anything else, that's fine. But I'm thinking just in the spirit of brevity to do the site visit next might make a lot more sense than to just keep trudging along here.
I would just say that looking at the minutes from September, the other things that we mentioned were the acceptable means and methods for the installation of the flood storage basin, and also some documentation in the appendix about the how the decision was made of where to put that, why that's the best place for it, I guess, you know, whatever.
Okay.
And
Yeah, actually, yeah, when we do our site visit, we can actually walk up, we'll drive up the street to the comp storage area. It's only about a half mile away. And we can actually visit both locations at the same site visit.
Okay.
That'd be great. Okay. Okay, folks, anything else from anybody?
Bill, this is Ed. So we have one member in the audience who's here, Mr. Brunel. And
Yes, yeah, put him on the microphone if you would.
There you go. So Mr. Brunel's here tonight. He listened in, and I don't know if he has any comments or questions, concerns that he would like to ask the commission. Sure, go ahead.
My name
Yes,
is
sir. Go ahead, sir.
Burnell.
Go ahead.
My name is Joe Burnell. I live at 90 School Street here in Granby. If I can report to the commission, maybe to answer the earlier question that was proposed by one of the commission members, is Ethan Meyer from the Mass DOT indicated, I learned this tonight, he visited my property and took elevations, many elevations of my property. That was something that we had discussed, asked him to do. It does appear that there's notations on the updated plans that he showed me tonight to match the swale, as well as a larger 12-inch concrete pipe which would extend underneath my driveway. So it seems that those are some of the concerns that I brought up in that letter that Kathy Leonard had distributed apparently to all the commission members. The concern that I still have is that this drainage pathway, apologies if I'm using the wrong terminology, that this drainage pathway into that swale has a clear and continuous way to the Turkey Hill Brook, or that unnamed body of water that's adjacent to my. And I was overhearing your those DEP questionnaire things, that there's going to be no discharge into the Turkey Hill Brook. I'm not sure what that exactly means, but the drainage water based on that swale goes through my property, goes through my neighbor's property at 92 School Street, and then continues into that overgrown area where I call it.
Okay, one, if I may, Mr. Brunel. So you're
Yes, sir.
concerned that exfiltration out of the swale may affect your property?
I'm, excuse my naiveness here, I'm not sure what that term means, but that the water that starts from the corner that that Ethan measured, because there's an existing swale now, has a way to continue and not just get to the end of my property, because I think then it becomes a domino effect.
Okay.
His property floods, my property floods.
Okay.
And again, I apologize if I don't know the all the correct.
No, I think I know what you're driving at. Bob Notario, Bob, are you there?
Yeah,
Bob, again, not to engineer your project or to even think of engineering your project, but would you be kind enough to answer Mr. Brunel's question and possibly to think about making an impervious invert on your drainage swales that crosses his property? Maybe something with either a plastic liner or the like to minimize exfiltration onto his land?
I believe we have a plan in place that resolves any of those issues.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so if you could take Joe's question and if you could respond in writing to everybody, I think that would be fabulous. I appreciate if you do that, sir.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Is it draining properly right?
Oh, okay, again, I don't want to dwell on technical details in the public meeting, but I think if Bob could respond to Mr. Brunel's question, that would be excellent. Mr. Brunel, any other specific question you'd like answered by DOT?
I'm sorry, what did he say?
He asked if I had another specific question. It's not per se a question, though, hopefully put it in the correct terms, it's a concern. Obviously, a very large concern.
So I think I understand Mr. Brunel's comment. He just doesn't want to make sure that it backs up from that culvert crossing into his property, and then the water's going to infiltrate into the ground or raise his water table. But I think right now, the way it is, it's the swale that comes through and then eventually makes its way probably to Turkey Hill Brook, but there are no new point source connections to Turkey Brook. So there are no new, so I think that was a concern with DEP, no point source discharges in that brook. And so we're not doing that.
And Ethan has addressed those, that there is the proper swale and that the updated plans that he showed me, that will swale. The question is, will it continue?
Sure. Okay. I think we've got it.
Thanks.
So,
Okay.
thank you, Mr. Brunel.
Thank you, guys. And Bob,
Thank
would you, you DOT and company, if you could respond to Mr. Brunel's questions in writing,
Sure.
that would be fabulous. Okay, thank you.
I think, Mr. Atari, would you like to say anything in closing?
Yeah, real quick before we close.
Sure. Not the meeting, but I mean, not officially, but finish up tonight. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, so, could I have Janice's email to make sure I have it? And I want to make sure that I forward her the plans that we were discussing about the replication area,
Sure.
elevations, and the planting.
Cross sections.
Cross sections, so that when we meet out on site, she's already had a time to look at those,
Sure.
and it won't be last minute. So I want to make sure that I have her correct email. And
Bill, could you get that to her, Bob?
Yeah, I'm going to read it to you right now, Bob. Just write this down if you would, please.
yes,
It's, hold on.
It's Granby Concom or something like that.
No, hold on. I'm just trying to click on it here.
Dan's in the room. Jan could say it or.
Yeah, hold on. We got it right
Yeah, but
here.
here, Kevin's got it right here.
Here it is. It's CONSCOM, CONSCOM, CONSCOM at Granby-ma.gov. So conscom at Granby-ma.gov.
Perfect.
Robert, thank you, sir.
so I'm.
Okay, so-
email her this week with those plans.
Yep.
And I'm going to email Mr. Brunel this week.
Okay, so and Janice is going to set up a site visit for the next couple of weeks, and we're going to meet, we're going to continue this until the 15th of November at 7:30, correct? Yep. Very, very good.
Here's a question for the Mass DOT and the commissioners. Do we need a police detail because of the highway? Are we gonna be on the highway? Typically, are you gonna have
We don't need to be on the highway.
so there's no detail needed? Okay. Bring your vests, bring your orange
Yeah.
vests.
And bring your DOT trucks with the big flashers, a dump truck preferably, Bob.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
You're right, Ed. Safety first, buddy. Oh, God. All right.
Okay, next, can we move on to the next one?
Yes, sir.
All right, it's a continuation.
Did you vote,
Continue.
sorry, did you vote on the continuance?
Oh, Bill, you didn't. I don't have you voting, Bill.
Okay.
So get-
I-
Make
I
a motion.
move- I move we continue till 15 November, 7:30 PM.
Dave will second.
Do we have permission from Mass DOT? Mass DOT says we have permission.
Okay.
Thumbs up.
All right, we have a second. Any further discussion? All in favor of continuing until the 15th, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, none heard, approved. Thank you.
Okay. Number 3 for public hearings tonight is a continuation, GCC 22-03, the notice of intent, number 165-0352, filed by Christopher Aldridge for a proposed demolition of a barn which is located on the banks of Bachelor Brook. Prior to demolition, sediment and erosion control will be installed. All debris will be removed from the site, with the exception of the stone foundation, which will be brought down to grade and left on site with regards to property located at 49 Aldridge Street and known as map 1-C-8 in the town of Granby. Is there anybody in the room tonight, either at the library or on the live Zoom meeting, representing this meeting tonight?
No one here is at the old library for that meeting.
Okay, I could speak to progress on this project. It is imminent that a geotechnical engineer will be hired very shortly to address the slope stability issues discussed earlier. And I recommend that we continue this until 15 November at 7:30.
Dave will second that motion.
Right.
You made a motion, I guess, continue.
Recommended.
Any
Bill, is that a
further discussion?
recommendation?
Is that a recommendation or a motion?
Oh,
That was a motion. We're moving to continue.
yeah,
Okay,
we're
because you said recommendation, sorry.
All right, I'm sorry. Motion to
That's okay.
continue to the 15th.
Second,
all right, Patty, I got you.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Okay, number 4, continued, it's a GCC 22-06, notice of intent numbered 165-0354, filed by Heather L. Rule, trustee, for a proposed driveway within a resource area to access a proposed single-family residence site, including the development of a replacement wetland area with regards to property located on Kendall Street and known as map 8-C7 and 8-C8-12 in the town of Granby. Is there anybody representing that project here tonight?
Yep, Dan
yeah.
Nietzsche from GZA is here. Hi, Dan. Go ahead, fire away, sir.
Good, thanks very much, folks. Yeah, so we continued the last hearing out to today's date. We still don't have any response yet from regulators, so we would like another 3-month continuance. So that would be January 2023. You may not have a date set just yet, but whatever your meeting is in that month, we'd like that one.
Okay,
And I think we'd like to schedule the field walk for the wetland delineation while we still have some vegetation and it's not snow out.
sounds good, Dan. Janice, would you be kind enough to coordinate the site visit?
Yes, although if we could figure something out maybe now, since it's not a long hearing on this tonight, it would probably help. You know, we've got Dan, we've got everybody else on the commission here, and to come up with a date that'll work would be a good idea if you can.
Yeah, that's great, Janice. Perfect.
I have to go get my address book. I'll be right back.
Okay,
The first meeting in January is January 10th.
Thanks,
okay.
Ed.
So Dan, you haven't heard from DEP at all on this project?
Well, let me full disclosure. I was a little slow at getting my application into the
I
fed,
gotcha.
so
I hear
it's,
you.
it's not their fault, it's my fault
Okay,
at the time.
no worries.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we heard, I mean, we heard for DEP in their comments that, you know, obviously a 401 was needed because of the amount of square feet footage of BVW, and obviously the Army Corps is involved, so.
Yeah, so you're gonna use the excavated spoils then for your rep area as your fill for your embankment?
It'll be quite a bit of it. It won't be all of it, but it'll be quite a bit of it. At least create the base course that they
Okay.
can then, you know, bring equipment in, because, you know, they're gonna have to come in on mats in order to start excavating,
Right,
and then
right,
bring the
right.
material back to fill the mat area in.
Right, you know, I was thinking, are you gonna work east to west or west to east on this?
I think Jeff is thinking, what would that be? East to west.
Okay,
Okay,
so
so
you're gonna
in the-
work from the borough area and actually build the road going toward Kendall Street.
Kendall, I think so. And they'd have to
Yeah,
use
that makes
the,
sense, 'cause I was thinking about that for quite some time, and that's the only logical way I could come up with it as well. So good. I'm glad you're
yeah,
thinking about it.
in years past, we probably had longer periods of frozen ground condition, but I think nowadays you really pretty much have to plan for mats in there for transporting
Right,
through that
right.
wetland.
Right. You know, it's too bad you can't borrow a few from Eversource. There's plenty in town still.
I know. There's a bunch of them laying around. I know.
Oh, yeah. Some of them may be abandoned too.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, some of them do.
Yeah, no, but seriously, that might be a source of some work product for you guys.
Okay. Yeah.
Very,
So yeah,
very
so
good.
here's the crossing. Thanks, Janice.
Yeah, so you
Whoever-
guys,
Whoever's bringing this up.
Davis, and
Hi.
you want to try something for this Saturday?
Yeah, that'd be great.
What about you guys, commissioners?
Yeah, Janice, didn't we have another SV scheduled? What was the other one?
Not for Saturday.
We talked about doing it, but I don't
I
remember
think
what
we
it was.
talked about, that was Rita Banks, correct?
Well, we
Did
didn't,
we-
we didn't schedule anything.
We could try to do both.
Yeah, well, okay, well, those two are both priority projects, this project and that project, so, whatever your pleasure is, whichever one you want to do first is fine with me.
So how about Dave, Kevin, Ed, Patty? How's this Saturday morning, 15th?
Great, at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock?
Yeah, 9 would be okay for me.
Yeah, I'm usually at work on Saturdays. I'm just getting administrative stuff at my office done to get ready for the next week.
You're a workaholic, Ed.
Too much.
I'm the same thing, though. I do all my administrative on the weekend. I'm exactly the same as you. Yep.
Yeah, that's getting burnt out from it, Bill. I'm sure you are too.
I hear you. That's why I try to take one day a week off, and it's usually Sunday now. You're right, though. But I work Saturday afternoon too. But anyway, was 9 o'clock okay for everybody out at the rural property?
It's okay for me,
Yeah.
Dan? Okay for you?
Yeah, that's good. 9 o'clock's good. I think, you know, give yourself around a 40-minute, because we got to walk through, since they cleared the pathway.
Yes,
that you
yes,
said there,
Dave said, votes yes.
a lot of young stuff has come up, so we got to push through some brush just at the beginning part before we get into
Okay,
the
and,
wetland area.
and is the weather forecast favorable? It's not gonna rain downpours, is it?
Oh, I didn't look at that yet. Thanks, Bill.
Why don't you look at that?
No, it's supposed to be clear on Saturday. Thursday to Friday is the storm, Bill.
Okay. I
Saturday
gotcha.
should be,
Yep. It's very tricky parking there, so you may have some,
They
if we
will
get a
park.
lot of cars, you're gonna have to park in front of some of the houses that are there too.
Okay,
It's
What's
only a
the
40,
nearest-
it's only a 40-foot strip.
it's only a 40-foot access way, yeah.
What's the
Yeah.
nearest house number?
I think I want to say it's 357 is the nearest one. I'll send you a pin, Janice, or
Okay.
something like that. Yeah.
Okay. And I can pass it on. Okay.
All right.
thank you. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you all. Have a good
All right,
evening.
see you then.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Okay, bye.
Take
Thank
care.
you.
Okay, that's the last of our public hearings for tonight.
Oh, then we
Oh, it's
better,
Any-
We better vote
Any
to
other-
continue it and all.
No, we didn't vote, we didn't make a motion to move this meeting to
No.
the January date.
No. she
Oh,
did
okay,
not.
all right. We move it to an unknown January date at 7:30.
Well,
Oh, no,
we
it's
should make it-
January 10.
Yep, January 10.
Okay. January 10th,
Yeah.
7:30 PM.
Yep.
Second?
Dave will second.
Okay, any further discussion? None heard. All in favor of going to January 10 at 7:30, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, okay, very good, thank you.
Now, we have any other business? We have got a few requests for certificates of compliance. The 165-085 by Nate Bernier, that's the 7 Phillips Circle. Continues to be on our list here, Bill.
Again, knowing that site well, I went by it again the other day, and apparently they are not interested in installing those birdhouses, so
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Do we keep it on the agenda anyway, even though they are not active?
Janice, what would you do at this point?
I would probably contact them by letter and ask them if they wanted to withdraw it or whether we should keep it open. Whether
Oh,
they're
I
gonna-
see, so they could withdraw the COC then, I got you.
Yeah, or else they could just tell us that they're working on it or something like that.
Okay. And the reason they would want the COC typically is for a mortgage. And since doesn't seem to be any issue with the mortgage or the financial situation over there, maybe indeed they would just opt to remove it at this point.
So is that a letter you write, Jan, and then Bill signs it?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it would be nice to get them to redo it. I mean, you could, if they withdraw, they are in violation of their order of conditions. So we could issue a violation letter or something. I don't know, what you guys want to do, but just trying to figure out how to get those posts back up or the birdhouses back up.
Why don't you, let's write them a gentle letter, Janice,
Okay.
and we'll see let's write them a gentle letter at this point.
Okay.
Thank you.
The next one, Bill, is West State Street. We have 3 properties. Jan and I looked at 85 West State Street today. That's the Chateau Harmony. The sanitary work that was done almost 30 years ago now seems to be working fine. And, but there's also 164, 143 West State Street. Jan, we did not look at those 2 sites, right? We only looked at 185 today.
Yes, and yep. Yeah, the other one has some issues, so we're gonna have to.
Yeah, I'm gonna opine on the others because this sign off is intimately tied with the other 2 Chapter Lane lots that went to supersede last year, if you recall. And if you recall with the superseding situation, there was a declaration made by the commission back in the 90s that particular waterway was a perennial stream. And I suspect that had a lot to do with the demarcation of the riverfront boundaries that I think, Janice, you saw in the paperwork this afternoon with the attorney.
Yeah.
So the question is, since the riverfront was incorrectly demarcated as riverfront, I would suspect if this thing went to court, the judge or jury would say, since it's not really riverfront, there's no reason to put these demarcation boundaries in because they're erroneous. You see what I'm driving at?
Yep, I do.
So based on that argument, does it not make sense to ignore those particular conditions in the order?
I think it makes a lot of sense,
Okay.
Yeah.
but that's my naive opinion.
Well, no, I'm just trying to, again, that's a fine opinion, actually. But Ed, you have comments, Kevin, Patty, anyone have any other comments on this?
Well, Bill, why are we doing an order of condition, release of order of conditions when it was a superseding order? Doesn't that go to DEP?
Oh, no. This was another of Bill Chapdelaine's parcels, Ed. This is some of his other parcels that were previously developed in the 90s.
Okay, before that superseding one?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I would agree. If that's not riverfront, then what's the point?
That's right.
But I would say we shouldn't issue anything yet because it looks like there was still some activity in what would now be the 100-foot buffer zone. But it may be minor enough that you guys don't want to deal with it. But I did talk to the lawyer for Chapdelaine on it, and he said we could go on to Chapdelaine's land bordering the lot that is the corner of Crescent and West Street, that 165, 154, just to check it if we want to. It's owned by somebody else now, but I have a question about a shed that's in back there that may be within the 100-foot buffer, but it may be minor enough that it's not, worth the hassle. But at any rate, I'm trying to get a little more information back from the lawyer on that one. And we took about an hour today on the phone with the 185 West State Street to figure out what lots and what maps and what plans and dates and everything. It was a mess. It's a mess in so many ways. But we got it figured out.
It's in good hands. I'll let you let's let Janice handle that. Okay, very good.
But the chateau that Dave and I visited, we thought that seemed fine to do a sign off, and they are eager to do that. There's a sale pending, the certificate of compliance for that property. So they're eager to get that done.
What is the DEP file number for the chateau and the septic system?
165-143.
Okay, so I move we sign 165-143. You want to do a full 8B, full compliance?
Yeah, as far as we can tell.
Oh, okay, all right. So I move we sign 165-143 Form 8B as a full compliant COC. A second?
Dave will second that.
Okay, any other questions by anybody? Ed, anything?
No questions here.
Okay, all in favor of approving as stated, say aye, please.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? None. Okay, that one's good, Janice, so you can initiate the paperwork on that, please.
Okay.
Thank you. Yep.
And there's just that other one, the Lot 2 Bachelor Street. That one, we just got this last Monday, and with the holiday, I couldn't make connections and I needed to get back to the lawyer for some details. I called the office today there, but the paralegal who's dealing with it wasn't in today and will call me back tomorrow. So I still need some information from them on that. So that will go up till next time. So the other two, the 154 and 174, will be for next time.
Okay, and where in Bachelor Street is this?
It's number 82. It's a house and it backs up to a large wetland.
Oh, okay, so that's on the Aldridge Lake side of the street.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay. All right, very good.
These are the DEP numbers, and lot 2 is number 82, Jan, you're saying?
Yes, yep, it's the house number's 82.
Gotcha. And we'll do these at the next meeting, you're saying?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. Slow network connection, yeah, tell me about it.
Okay, Dave.
Okay, site visit determinations, Jan, we talked about the wetland, the gravel pits. Are there any others right now?
Well, we talked about doing a visit to 142, was it Chicopee Street? Rita Banks' place. Do you want to try to do that for Saturday as well?
That's true, 142. Let's try it. If we can do two with one visit, I think that's very valuable.
Yeah. So if it's 9 o'clock at the Kendall
Maybe 10
Street.
o'clock. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think we should not be spending more than an hour at any site.
Okay.
So that has to include our visit and transportation. So
That's right,
Technic-
that's right, Dave, that's right,
technically,
that's
we
right.
should be planning on about a half an hour to 40 minutes at a
Okay.
site and then move to the next site after that.
Right,
Okay.
that's right.
So you could say Rita Banks would be at 10 o'clock if she's available.
Okay, I'll check with her. Okay,
Thank you, guys.
Yep.
Very efficient, very, very good, very good.
Then the next on the list here is the wetland info handout. Jan, I know there was some commentary on it, but I don't know if we had information from you.
I haven't seen anything yet. Patty, were you going to try working on that some?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we
Loud
can.
and clear.
Okay, all I was going to do was make some clarifications. You had only one section where you were talking about, you added in like almost like an enforcement, which is kind of a separate issue. And the only thing that when I looked at the diagram, some of the wording was very, how do I say it? Not, it was just too technical. Like it almost like any document you should produce should stay about at a high school level. That was probably more like, it was more college and it assumed you know what all those types of situation examples were. So it's simple as to list and then say, if you have any questions, because we didn't even tell them what to do if they didn't know what something meant, what to do. So I think I was sent an email, like an email of a Word copy that I could edit and resubmit for
Okay.
next month's meeting.
Okay, yeah, because I think if I didn't say it, I guess I just putting the contact information at the top of the page, I thought would provide the place to go, but I see what you mean about saying how to reach out
You-
to people.
Basically, my plan is to write something, hand it to one of my high schoolers, and if they understand what's going on, it's good. Because I read it, I pretended to be a high schooler, and I'll be honest with you, you lost me at the list of all these like scientific examples of whatever, and I'm like, well, I don't know what any of that is, and I would have thrown the paper out, and the drawing only assumes streams, but it said, we didn't make a note that the wetland didn't have to be on your property, because anybody say, well, hey, well, the wetland's not on my property, or the stream's on someone else's property, it doesn't matter to me. So there was a couple things like it doesn't, like people, a common mistake is, well, I don't have the stream on my property. Why does it matter to me?
Uh-huh.
Why
Okay.
does it affect me? And then the other thing is we only noted a stream, but it could be a stream, it can be a brook, it can be a
Are
standing
you
body of
going-
water, it can be
Okay,
not, like,
okay.
we only noted
Patty.
one thing,
Patty,
You got it.
all the
Patty,
things.
are you going to make recommendations and distribute them so we all can see them for the next meeting?
Yeah, my plan was just to take the doc, put the edits and then reply all and send it back.
Okay.
I don't know everyone's technical know-how, but I usually, when I work collaboratively, I literally use a doc. I put everyone who has the right to edit it, but I'm not sure what everyone's tech savviness and their platform level is.
Well, Jan
usually
can
that-
coordinate that with us. So make sure we all get a copy of it, okay,
Yeah,
Jan?
because some people are Google people and some people are Microsoft people. So, and then some people just to be fun are Apple.
I don't think that matters really, so. Anyway, Jan, if you could make sure we all get those and that
Sure.
information.
Yeah, because all I did on the PDF was I actually just edited the PDF and sent when I sent my recommendations on that, if you'd open the doc, it had little notes and comments. It's very easy to do all electronically.
Great.
Okay, I didn't see one. You
Thank
didn't
you.
do one yet, did you?
I sent it, I think I replied on, I resaved the doc and the doc had arrows, comments and like what to do for editing. It's just I hate to say it, it's a teacher trick.
Just
I don't
make,
think
make,
I didn't see
make-
that. Did you
make-
see
yeah.
it, Dave?
No, I did not.
No.
I didn't see your earlier submission to Janice, to Patty
No.
anyway, so.
Oh, okay, but I didn't see anything back, Patty.
I saved it and attached and sent back, so it might be, if you check the email train and when someone interceded it, you might not have seen it.
Okay, I'll look for it.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Well, if you,
It should
Patty,
be
if
there,
you
but
could-
if it's not there, it's fine.
yeah, if you could coordinate with Janice so we could all get a copy of your comments, that'd be very appreciated.
Yeah, that would be good.
Perfect, thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Then going down through our administrative duties, we made it down to number 9, which is similar to what I think we were just talking about, dealing with small wetland violations. Is that similar, Janice?
It
Same
was,
thing?
I think it could be, yeah. I mean, we just wanted some kind of thing letting people know that they just can't dump their yard waste
Right.
into a wetland or buffer zone. It may
Well,
be, sometimes they do more specific things like that about yard waste and how you should be composting instead.
Well,
So-
well, I'm looking at the wetland info handout, the dealing
Yeah.
with small wetland violations, and then also dumping leaves in wetlands. To me, these are all the same subject, just with a subtly different title.
Yeah,
So can we consolidate these into one title? So we're talking about the same thing?
yeah, I think we've mentioned a few times that we could take the dumping leaves one off of the agenda. But
All right.
it still stays, it still keeps coming back.
Yeah. I know. Let me see if I can get that removed. And dealing with small wetland violations, would that be handled with the wetland info handout?
Well, I think that was related to the dumping, like at what point do we want to make a deal out of it versus just sending people like a handout and reminding them that they're not supposed to, dump in wetlands. I think the minor wetland violations and the dumping leaves were the ones that sort of were in common.
Okay. But can we get rid of the dealing with small wetland violations? Assuming that
so.
the wetland info handout, once it's complete, we can use that handout to give to people that have questions or,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
So
I
I'm
think
gonna-
that's fine.
I'm gonna ask to have that removed. also. Then we come down to number 11 here, wetland engineering consultants list. It sounds like, now, I've not seen it, but is that complete?
Yeah, it's right here, Dave. You see it on the screen?
I've got the screen in front of me, Bill, so.
No, take a look at my screen.
Instead of his face.
Oh.
I sent that in the email, what was it, last night, I guess it was.
That's been sent to, I've taken liberty. I've sent that to Kathy for publication. Reason is this gives the townspeople at least an idea of who they can hire. Whether or not anyone wants to add or delete anyone at any time, just let me know and I'll change it. No worries. But I want to get some, because the current list we've had from the last 20 years, half the folks are out of business now.
Yeah,
So
Well,
at least we got a new crop of folks on this list, and it's called a list of wetland and environmental consultants. It does not say engineers, but it does have some engineering firms included.
Well,
But again, let me know what you want. I'll make changes as necessary. No worries.
but the point I'm looking for was, can we review duties? And I think we can. Right?
No, say again, Dave. I missed that.
There's no reason to keep number 11 under administrative duties on this list anymore because it's
Oh,
complete.
no, that's right. That's done. Yeah, get rid of that. Delete that, of course. Yes. Oh, yes.
Okay. And then the final one is correspondence, which is an open document similar to receiving. I mean, we have had use for that. We've received letters from DEP before where we've talked about it at this. So I would keep correspondence.
Yeah.
But I would remove number 9, 10, and 11 that show up on this list right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Then we have old business. This hasn't come up recently, but the Forge Pond, the water chestnut removal and permitting question that was raised by one of the pond people, I'll call them. Have we heard anything further from that lady regarding the removal of the water chestnuts from Forge Pond?
No, but I did do a request for determination to, refresh that official permission. And I sent it to Bill and Kathy had was able to answer a couple of my questions, like who's the applicant, what address do I use, what name do I use, some of that. So it's going to be something from the town of Granby, and I think it's her telephone number, the one that she gave me to fill that out. So at this point, I'm not exactly sure how this works, but I'm going to do the corrections and send it to her and then see if she's going to sign or if someone from town hall is going to sign or whether someone from the Concom will sign. I don't know. But at any rate, the request for determination is done. I just did a simple one based on the previous year's ones. I had asked for more information from the Connecticut River Watershed and from the Water Chestnut coordinator several times, and it just in terms of what methods did they use this year, what methods do they think they might use in the future, so that I'd get them in there. And I didn't get any response. I did get a response from the woman who originally talked to us, and she said that they did do it this year and they did the usual hand pulling from small boats.
Right.
So that's basically what I'm putting in there, unless
Sure.
something else comes up during the public meeting or something.
For the sake of our notes tonight and for brevity, can I say it's a work in progress? And just leave
Yes,
it
the
at
draft is done, and yes, it'll be submitted before the next meeting.
without getting into a lot of detail.
Okay, sure.
And then the next one of old business is the Eversource. And I can't remember the acronym here, but the NEPA or MEPA filing. Can anybody respond to that?
Jan?
We haven't seen anything else recently. I think their extended comment period was till just recently. And at this point, I think it's going to just be that they're going to have to go town by town, and we'll be able to catch up with them then in terms of what they're going to do in town and the impacts.
But we haven't heard from them basically yet.
No, nope.
Saying. Okay. And then the last one here, and we spoke a little bit about it, Jan, could you give a quick update on the Muncing Ridge CR conservation restriction?
Okay, so we did that. Let's see, Dave, Bill, Kevin, and I went out and tromped around the boundaries of the property and noted a couple little spots to talk about. And I'm planning on going back and looking at the wetland in more detail. We just did the boundaries this time, which was good to do. And Bill did a lot of photos, and we tried to take the proper notes to go with the photos to explain the direction of the photos and all, which is typical documentation for the baseline. So I'm going to put together sort of a skeleton and start filling it in with the information, and that may show me if there's other pieces that I still need to get, whether it's some kind of minor legal history of the ownership or something like that. Sometimes some of that goes in. At any rate, so it's a work in progress at this point, but I hope to go out again.
Okay.
Basically,
Okay,
what I
Jan.
want to add to this bill is that we are still, the Conservation Commission is still in the process of doing its data collection.
That's right.
We've had one visit so far, and we're expecting at least one more visit.
Yeah,
And at the time that we have finished collecting our data, we'll have 30 days to actually compile the report. So the clock, the 30-day clock has not started yet. And I think that's what the landowner is most interested in, so they can then move on with their project. So they're waiting for a report, and we don't have the report yet.
Duly noted, Dave. I'm making excellent progress on the mapping, thanks to Dave and Kevin's excellent note sets that I'm working off of. Thank you, guys. It's making my work very, very easy. Thank you.
So both you and Janice are still compiling data.
Yeah.
And there's probably at least one more visit before we conclude our data collection.
yeah.
So, and the 30-day window doesn't start until that data is complete.
Okay.
Okay.
Very good.
That concludes all the items on our agenda for tonight.
Woohoo.
We have,
Dave,
it's now
8:45 p.m., guys.
So,
I move we adjourn at 8:45 p.m. This is our shortest meeting in eons. So thank you so much for being efficient, everybody.
Second.
oh yeah, Bill. Gotta write that down.
Any more discussion? Again, Patty, welcome back. All in favor of
Yes.
adjourning?